Hey guys, welcome back to our channel. This is Sally from Taishan Tea Club. So in the latest videos, we've talked about the oolong tea and then we finished the oolong tea series. Let's move into the next type of tea, which is the black tea. In today's video, I'll be briefly introduce to you guys to the black tea. And then in later videos, I will be brewing them and then talk about different varieties of them. So stay tuned and let's get started. So black tea is a fully fermented tea and it is made from the freshly tossed leaves. So it is unlike the green tea because green tea will lose its flavor over a long period of time. But black tea is different. Black tea can be preserved and then stored for a long period of time and without losing its flavor. So for that reason, black tea is very suitable for transporting to long distance and stuff. So this is the reason why it's been transporting so many to the western places. And black tea in Mandarin is actually called Hong Cha. And in Mandarin, Hong actually means red. Because black tea, when it brews out, the soup and then the leaves will turn out to be red. That's why it's called Hong Cha. And then there are a lot of different types of black tea. I will list them out in the videos for you guys. And now let's talk a little bit about the history for the black tea. So the first black tea in the world was invented in China by a tea farmer in the Wuyi Mountains in Fujian province during the Ming Dynasty, and it was called ZHENSHAN Xiaozhong. And then in 1662, when Princess Catherine of Portugal married King Charles II, her dowry included several boxes of Chinese ZHENSHAN Xiaozhong black tea. And then guess what? From then on, black tea was brought to the British court, and drinking it quickly became an integral part of British royal life. And then because British people loved black tea so much, and it quickly became a culture thing and it spreads into the whole world. And then let's talk a little bit about the production process for the black tea. There are 5 main steps for black tea, such as picking, weathering, rolling, fermentation, and drying. And drying also means baking. And all these steps are similar to the other tea production process as well. But let's talk a little bit deep into them. So for the weathering, by which the tips of the fresh leaves lose their lusters and the leaves are soft and the stalks are constantly folded and the veins are transparent. And this step is called weathering. And then the rolling step, which means it causes the tea juice to flow out and the leaves to be rolled into the strips. Then comes to the most important step for the black tea, which is the fermentation, which means the tea embryos are placed in a basket, pressed slightly, and covered with a warm, water-soaked fermentation cloth to increase the temperature and humidity of the fermented leaves. So promote the activity of enzymes and then shorten the fermentation time. So the purpose of fermentation is to make the polyphenols in the tea leaves undergo oxidation under the promotion of enzymes so that the tea will produce a red change. Then followed by the step of baking. So until the tea feels prickly to the touch and then it is powdered and dried and then to be cooled. So finally the rebaking. So after baking we're gonna rebake again. The purpose of rebaking which is to keep the leaves dry. So according to the production process and producing, there can be many different types of black tea, but it can be divided into 3 main types, such as 小种 black tea, 功夫 black tea, and 红穗 tea. Then there are different shapes of black tea. According to that, then black tea can be subdivided into many types of black tea as well. So there's so many varieties. But anyways, there are 4 main types according to the worldwide. So the varieties are 祁门 black tea, 大吉岭 black tea, 阿萨姆 black tea, and 乌巴. Let's talk about the characteristics of the black tea. So the quality of black tea is characterized by red leaves and red soup. So with a bitter aroma and mellow taste. The shape of black tea is tight, thin, and uniform ropes. The color is dark and oily with golden yellow bud tips. The soup of the black tea is red in color with a bright golden ring around the rim of the bowl, and cold cloudy phenomenon after cooling. And the taste is mellow and sweet. When storing black tea, there are 3 tips to keep in mind though. So the first tip is I recommend to put the black tea into a tea tin and then move to a dark and dry place. So the second tip is to keep in mind is to keep away from the light and the heat. And I think it is better to use the tin foil or tin foil tins for the tea. And the third tip is that to be careful not to let the tea get wet. According to all of the teas, black tea is a very popular tea to the people and to the culture. One of the reasons why it's so popular is because of the brewing method, because there are so many different ways to brew and stuff. And like for example, the milk tea, a lot of people love to drink milk tea, right? And often they use the jasmine black tea plus milk to mix together to make a milk tea. And then another reason why it's so popular, I think it's because of the British royal family, because the royal family has brought to the culture and brought to the British people, and then people chase to drink black tea and then brought to the whole world. But anyways, I have a friend that loves to drink black tea, and then she told me the black tea after brewing has a little sweetness, and in later video we'll be tasting out different types of black tea and then see how it tastes, but stay tuned. Anyways, we reached to our end of the video. Thank you so much for watching. If you liked today's video, please give us a like. And don't forget to subscribe to our channel if you want to know more about tea, and in later videos we'll be talking about tea and tea wares. Olivia will be talking about tea wares and I will be talking about tea. Anyways, stay tuned and I will see you in the next video. Bye bye! It's just the drum blows, yeah. Walk around like who you, yeah. Just something you get used to, yeah.